Welcome back to the channel, Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today I'm going to be working on an AdMech Scutari commission. It's two of the Start Collecting boxes. It's going to be like four 5-man squads, a couple tech priests, and some dune crawlers. Did up the basic for the bases and just put like a little bit of rubble on them, and gave them a like base coat, just to essentially like get them ready for like undercoat for like a little bit of metallics and stuff. And then I added like rocks and everything. I'm gonna get like a little paint on them, and then I'm gonna use that moon, like the moon texture paint, for like the cracked like moon kind of like surface effect. And so I did them up for all of the models, and then I'm gonna be working on them. I'm gonna go ahead and base coat everything right now, and get it like primed and based. The color, like most of it's going to be black. There's going to be some silver for the bottom half of the dune crawlers and red for the top half, and then the tech priests are going to be gray, and that's just because like that's their primary color. So I'm going to go ahead and lay some paint down on them, and then we'll just kind of jump into it and get these bad boys moving. Alright, so next step here now, we're just going to take our Mournfang brown, and we're just going to take like a big old brush, and we're just going to basically do a little dry brush on our bases. We just want to kind of like lighten them up. So right now everything's obviously like this dark brown. We're just going to go through, just kind of like hitting the raised areas primarily, but it's okay if we just get it wherever. We're going to be doing like quite a few different like layers and different colors and everything. So it'll be like progressively like lighter and darker in different steps, and then we're gonna have like the texture paint that goes on here too. So it doesn't need to be like ridiculously like perfect or anything like that. But we do just want to get like, you know, a couple little like nice texture like or color changes, so that when we do like come through with like all the different textures and everything, like it all adds up and gives us like a lots of different layers and you know, variances in color and texture like throughout the base. So it's really going to give it like a lot of depth, and you know, just make them really stand out over just like your standard just regular old boring bases. And I think by doing that you add a lot to the army, especially if executed well. So you're not like, you know, taken away from anything. You're like drawing just enough attention to make the bases stand out, but you're not like, they're not like so detailed and so like colorful that they're like taking your attention away from the model itself. But yeah, that's it. You basically see how we're starting to get like, you know, a little bit of like the different color and texture and everything. And some places are going to be like, you know, more, and some places are going to be less. But you can see, you know, we're just basically getting that overall look. And you know, they look super basic right now, but these bases actually will look really cool when they're done. I'm real happy with the Games Workshop texture paints. Like they provide some like awesome effects. Hopefully they'll expand that range too. Like the snow texture paint's really cool. I'd like to see them do like a water texture paint, and maybe they have one, I just don't know of it currently, but I'm pretty sure they don't as of now. So we're just gonna keep going through doing those. Alright, just gonna do a little bit of our Rakarth Flesh next, and I didn't really like let these dry or anything. Basically just gonna go ahead and like start with wherever I like started last time, and they're basically just like drying up enough. But you want to get like the majority of the paint off the brush, especially as you like transition colors, and you know, try to like focus just on the raised areas at first, so we're not like, you know, ruining the little bits of work that we already did. But we just want to like, you know, lighten those up. We're still going to go through and like pick out the metallics, and like I said, all that texture paint's going to go on here, but we just want to like add a little bit extra depth to it just with this next color, and we're just like flicking it over everything, and you'll kind of see, man, Rakarth Flesh is like at the end of its life. I might have to transition to the next one. Alright, there we go. Like I said, we just want to get like a little bit more of a different in color. Alright, next up on our moon bases, we've got a couple different layers of brown. We're just going to take a little bit of watered down leadbelcher. Nothing too crazy, we just want it to spread nice and easy. And I'm just going to go through and pick out like some of the metal. Like I went through and put all this like metal grading on here. So we're just going to go through and pick that out. And if we make any small mistakes or anything, it's not a big deal. Alright, so here I just went through and picked out like all the additional details. I did the leadbelcher for the metal. Just did some white scar for the skulls because I'm going to do like a reikland fleshade wash on those. And I like how that looks with like kind of a fleshy tone to it. And then I got all the pipes and everything painted as well. And then we have everything else just left our Drybrush color. And then we're going to come through with some washes next and kind of like mix it up a little bit and darken it. And then we can come in with our contact or our texture paint rather, and kind of get like that moony surface once we're just about finished up with everything. But as you can see, we're starting to get like the look we want. Now I didn't do any sand or anything, I just did like the rocks and like the little bits of like rubble and everything, because essentially like what I would normally use the sand to represent, we're going to be using the texture paint for, so we didn't need to like have that extra bit of like the sediment kind of like on there. And I don't think you really have like sand on Mars. I think you have like that kind of like cracked earth instead. So but there you have it for today. I'm gonna go ahead and release this half of the video, and then I will do the remainder in second half, and then we'll do some painting on the ad mech as well. As you can see, I have them broken down into like 3 main color groups, and we're just going to be doing them like assembly style like always. And I have the heads or faces mounted up on our little racks as well. So there you have it guys, Warhammer Man Studios, and I'm out of here.